In this presentation, you will see how I incorporated multimodes into my writer's workshop approach. After week 4's readings of multimodality, I realized how I was lacking on multimodal instruction in my writer's workshop. My students were continuing to produce and publish writing with pencil and paper, and I felt multi-modes of writing need to be introduced to my students. Before looking at the multimodal lesson completed in my class, it's important to take a look at the evidence of the social cultural perspective in a writer's workshop. The social cultural perspective places emphasis on learning through social interaction, using scaffolding and the zone of proximal development. A writer's workshop uses both of these components. Here we will take a closer look at scaffolding and the zone of proximal development. Scaffolding is used to help a learner construct knowledge. During scaffolding, the teacher helps to focus the learner's attention on relevant parts of the task by asking key questions that help the learner to think and talk about the task, by dividing the task into smaller, manageable subcomponents, and by sensitively withdrawing assistance when it is no longer needed. In a writer's workshop, a teacher scaffolds students' learning by modeling writing and conferencing with students about their writing. The zone of proximal development is the level at which the learner can perform at a higher level because of the support offered. During writer's workshop, the teacher is constantly giving support through mini lessons and individual conferencing. This allows ELL writers to build and sharpen their writing skills. The zone of proximal development and scaffolding was used in the multimodal lesson described in this presentation. Multimodes are instructional practices that allow elements to be presented in more than one sensory mode. Multimodes help improve student engagement and learning. In this part of the presentation, you will see my students engaging in their first multimodal writing project. My third graders were beginning a unit on opinion writing. We started the unit by planning and making an opinion PowerPoint. We began the unit by making a web of our opinions. Students chose one topic to expand and to develop an opinion on. Students were given instruction on how to develop a topic or opinion statement and reasons to support their opinion. Now for the fun part. Students used their graphic organizer to begin to draft their PowerPoints. Unfortunately, in the past 2 weeks, we have only had one day of school due to the ice and snow, so the students are still in the drafting phase of their writing. This lesson was taught to all of my third grade students, but I focused on the effect of this multimodal writing assignment on one of my struggling ELL writers. This student struggles with writing incomplete sentences and has a difficult time applying phonics principles in her writing. I was blown away by her creativity in her PowerPoint. She spent a lot of time changing fonts and colors and arranging pictures in her draft. I knew this child was artistic, but in writing, her artistic abilities are often hidden because she struggles so much with the mechanics of writing. I was amazed how she was able to express herself in her PowerPoint. The idea of not using pencil and paper to create a writing piece was way out of my comfort zone, but seeing the results and engagement of my students made the challenges of this multimodal lesson worth it. The major challenge, other than the weather, was the availability of computers. We have several computer labs in our school, but classes are assigned certain times to use them. This means we only have 45 minutes a week in a computer lab to complete this assignment. In the next week, we will have to rotate through our 5 classroom computers to get our PowerPoints completed. So far, this multimodal lesson has been a huge success. Students were more engaged in this type of writing. They even asked numerous times if they could work on their PowerPoint during other content areas. I can't wait to plan and implement more multimodal lessons in my writer's workshop.